Hey, it's Mike. I'm back and I'm ready to go. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, what do we got? Hey, Jeff is here. Good to see you, Jeff. We got Shoestring, 9578. I'm going to call you 9578. Hey, Mike, first time joining live. Great. I'm glad you're here. Ex-devotee who has recently left the cult. I've been listening for a while. Keep up the great work. Hey, thanks for joining in. I hope you can add to the conversation and let us know your experiences as they become pertinent. Queen of Karma, nice to see you here. Hey, Queen of Karma, how you doing? You got to head to bed. Sorry, it's late. We're not on the same time. We're not on the same time zone, but glad to see you here, man. You're doing great work. I love all your stuff that you're doing. Everybody go check out Queen of Karma. Fake Human. Yeah, justice for little girls, man. Exactly. And everyone is welcome. Everyone's welcome to join. Yes, everyone. We want everyone to share. Everyone. Hey, Hayden, good to see you here. Everyone. And Howard Johnson. Great to see you here, Howard Johnson. And Paz. Hey, Paz, great to see you, man. It always makes me feel good when you're here. And Liam. Hey, we got everyone here today except Rafael. I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell. And there we go. So we got the bells been rung. We're going to go right into the opening. Here we go.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. Hey, thanks for sticking it out. The opening. Hey, we got chasing after that kiwi. Absolutely. And we got M. Hey, M, good to see you here. Some good rice for everyone. Yes, we need some of that good rice for everyone. It's always good. And Dahlia Roberts. Hey, great to see you here. Man, I don't know where to start. We're gonna start. And I did this last time. We're going to start. I'm going to go over this briefly, just real briefly. This is a pedophile cult. We're talking about ISKCON and Krishna cults and Narayan Maharaj. A lot of these gurus from ISKCON that have their own thing going on. Any of these Gaudiya Math gurus, any of these Gaudiya Vaishnav sampradayas that are following these teachings, this Manu Samriti, whatever bullshit with this pedophilia in it. All right? Now, I'm not saying every Hindu, but hey, if the shoe fits, man, I can't help it. I can't help it if the shoe fits on your goddamn foot. All right? I can't help that. But for all the Hare Krishnas that want to come in here and be like, hey, Prabhupada married an 11-year-old girl, and that was a different time, and that was 100 years ago, or whatever the fuck they want to say, and Prabhupada never taught that. That wasn't something that ISKCON. Bullshit. Child marriage has always been part of ISKCON. It's right here in this conversation. He's 19 years old. He made an arrangement with another devotee to marry her daughter at a later age. She's only 12. This is 1977. Prabhupada is explaining how to marry. He says, I don't think anyone has ever done this before in our movement, the Vedic system. So I have a few questions about it. Prabhupada is teaching this to them. Prabhupada is telling them, no, marriage, they do not speak. This is the disease of your country. There's no objection. 19 years old boy and 12 years old girl. That is very good combination. And then Prabhupada even says here, if they stick to have one husband and one wife, it is very good. Or even the man can marry more than one wife. He can have more than one 12-year-old if he wants. He can have 2 or 3 12-year-olds if he wants. That is allowed in the Vedic system. Don't give me this bullshit with it. Prabhupada was not a pedophile. He was not teaching this. Prabhupada was, and Prabhupada, and he's telling Prabhupada right here, he's telling him. He's telling Prabhupada, we have a 19-year-old boy. He's going to marry this 12-year-old girl. The father's already said that we have another guy. He's got a daughter. He wants to marry the daughter off to a 26-year-old. They're explaining it to Prabhupada. Prabhupada's explaining what they should do. Tell me that this is not a fucking pedophile cult. This is a goddamn pedophile cult. You couldn't have a better pedophile cult than a guy sitting here explaining in 1977 how to marry their 12-year-old girls off to grown men. God damn it, what else do you want? What else do I got to do? Prabhupada says it in the Bhagavatam. There's multiple places where he says it in the Bhagavatam. He says it in the Bhagavad Gita. He's explaining it right here, and this is not the only place. Even a pedophile, even the children of God did not call themselves the International Society for Pedophilia. They had the sense to call themselves the Fellowship of the Lord, or whatever fucking name they gave themselves. Goddamn pedophile cult. And I don't care if you're in it. If you're in it, you're promoting and you're perpetuating this friggin' pedophilia and this child marriage. Hey, Don Pearson, man, great to see you back, man. Great to see you back. If you're in this cult, then you're part of it. You're part of it. You might not know what's going on. You might not be aware of what's happening. Shame on you. Shame on you for not knowing. Shame on me. I was in it for 20 years. I know what I'm fucking talking about. When I realized what was going on, what was in these books, what Prabhupada was teaching, what was happening, Tattva Darshan and Yashodanandan and all these gurus and all of this crap, and you put it all together and you figure it out and you see it for what it is. You get the fuck out. You get the fuck out. You don't stay in it and go, oh, I want to help the children. Oh, I want to help. I want to do this. You're in a fucking pedophile cult. That's what you got to fucking understand. You're not in an ancient tradition. It ain't no fucking spiritual organization based on them. Fuck all of that. When it wears a duck's shape, glides upon the water, and sings a quacking song, the truth floats plainly before us. Absolutely. I mean, I've shown this stuff, so I know that all of you that have been watching and joining in, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's not confusing. It's not confusing. It's not exaggeration. How can you exaggerate? How can I fucking exaggerate a conversation where this fucking guy is telling him how to marry a 12-year-old girl with a 19-year-old boy? And of course he's a 19-year-old boy. He's not a man. Somehow a 12-year-old girl, they think of him as a wife, as a woman, and a 19-year-old man is just a boy. This is the most misogynistic, sexist, repressive, disgusting cults there is. I mean, I don't know what else to say, man. And this is just one conversation. Prabhupada. Otherwise, there's no objection. I'm married. My wife was 11 years old. He didn't give a fuck about her future. They don't give a fuck about a woman's future. An 11-year-old girl, She didn't even know what the fuck's going on in the world, and now she's stuck to this some old man. Married to some old man, doesn't even know friggin' what, doesn't even know what sex, doesn't know anything, 11 years old. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. And he's proud of it. He's proud of it. He's laughing about it. They laughing about it. I mean, he says right here. He doesn't even know. He says, generally a girl attains puberty at 14 years, 13 years. In India, because it is tropical climate, I think in Western countries they attain puberty not 15, before 50. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's fucking an idiot. You guys think that they know what they're talking about because he chants a mantra and he translated some books, so now he's an authority on every fucking thing? He's an authority on child marriage, on how to marry an 11-year-old girl and have sex with her and she doesn't cry? Gradually, over time, just like my wife, I took her hand. She cried at first, but gradually, over time, after I banged her a few times, she stopped crying. It's a fucking disgusting piece of shit. And this is in his books. You can read this shit. You can read this stuff. Anybody that's in this cult knows that Prabhupada says women have small brains. Women are like to be raped. Women are less intelligent. Black people belong in the jungles. Black people are ugly. And everybody knows that he had a fucking child wife. There's no secret. There ain't no fucking secret. They don't give a fuck. These are disgusting fucking people that don't give a fuck about this child marriage and all this sexism and racism and bullshit. Oh, Prabhu, it's coming from Krishna. You don't understand. You don't understand. You used to be Sri Mukunda, but you're not connected to the Parampara anymore. So now you're just confused and you don't understand Vedic. Fuck your Vedic bullshit. Disgusting pieces of shit is what you are, all of them. And if you know, you need to get the fuck out. You stay in it and do this shit. Stay in it and pretend like you're fucking...
Hello, and welcome to our channel, Vedic Solutions. And I'm your host, Harinama Chintamani. Today is a deeply personal video that I never thought I would make. I have been guided to share with you a story that I also never thought I would speak publicly.
These people are nuts. These people are friggin' nuts. Does that look like a sane person? She's going to tell you some wacky story? She's been a Hare Krishna for 60 fucking years. You think her brain is like fucking banana pudding. There's nothing there. There's no substance there. It's mush. What is she going to fucking... The fuck is this woman going to teach other than how great this friggin' pedophile cult is? This cult that murders people. Beats up women. Abuses children. Molests children. Glorifies the child molesters, has pedophilia and child marriage in their books, and she's gonna sit there and she's gonna tell us something? The fuck is this crazy ass woman gonna teach on the internet? Teach you about? She's gonna try and get you into this goddamn cult. That's all she's trying to do, is get you into this fucking cult. Fucking insanity. In fucking sanity. Pretend like there's no pedophilia, child marriage is not happening in this cult. You got videos on the internet, these these women that were married off as little kids, telling their story. And people are sitting there going, oh, really? Wow, that's interesting. Yeah. So do you still chant? What the fuck? Considering how disgusting their teachings are, I honestly wonder what people see in this group and how they get sucked in. They're brainwashed. They're brainwashed into it. They don't come out and say, hey, join our cult. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They don't come out and say, hey, join our pedophile cult. We think women are stupid and black. No, they don't do that. They say, take this book and read this book. They start reading it. And little by little, the shit seeps in. So that when they finally hit you up and you finally get to that point where it says the gopis are 11 years old and little girls can be married to grown men. When you finally find that part in there, you don't care. You just put it in the back of your mind like it's no big deal. It's coming from Krishna. They have all these excuses. This is manipulation and brainwashing. If they told you straight up, if they told people straight up, we believe in child marriage. We have a story about a grown man who rubs his hands all over little girls. And he's supposed to be the greatest guy ever. We have stories where the guy begs for rice from an old lady and then he goes and he commits suicide. And then the guy smiles because he committed suicide. We have gurus that molested little kids and we protect them and we say we might become a ghost if we criticize the gurus of molesting little children. If they told you on day one all of this stuff, nobody would join. If they told you, yeah, look at Prabhupada, he had an 11-year-old wife. He was 22, he had an 11-year-old wife. First thing you'd do is you'd be like, what the fuck? If they told you this stuff up front on day one, nobody would join this shit. But they manipulate you and they brainwash you and they mush up your brain so that when you finally realize this shit and you realize what's going on, and they tell you, oh yeah, women have small brains, they're stupid. Don't you see, Prabhu, how dumb women are? And then you're like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, women are kind of dumb, aren't they? Yeah, they are kind of dumb. Yeah, I hate these women, they're stupid. Fucking insane. They are already liberated souls. We cannot presume anything about them. It's part of Krishna's. Yeah, hey, don't offend any. Don't make offenses. I remember hearing that in the beginning, like, because because you're new. You don't know. Somebody said something, and I made a joke, because I'm a comedian. I made a joke, or I said something about somebody or something, and they're like, hey, don't make it a. And I was like, what the fuck is this? But I was like, oh, I guess I'm not supposed to make fun. I'm not supposed to make fun. How criminal they are, full of excuses and nasty ones. I know, it's... Some women defend Prabhupada's nonsense with the excuse above. Rupa Manjari gets on there and goes, yeah, my husband abused me. My husband raped me practically every day, but Prabhupada says women like it, so I guess I liked it. I guess it's my fault. That's how fucking brainwashed that these people get. Rupa Manjari, and they're talking about how, and why didn't any of these other abused, Narayana's other abused wives, how come none of them ever spoke out? How come it took Rupa Manjari so long to speak out? And I'm saying I'm glad she spoke out, but a lot of abuse could have been avoided if everybody had spoken out and said, hey, this guy's abusing everybody. Maybe Rupa Manjari wouldn't have been abused if she had known that Narayan was an abuser. Hey, maybe all his other 4 wives could have come out and said something. No, they don't want to make offenses. They might become a ghost. You know, maybe if somebody like Mike, maybe if somebody spoke out and said, hey, Nara Narayan abused me and abused Nishitya and abused Dina Diadri, abused all these other women, maybe Rupa Manjari wouldn't have been raped every day for 4 or 5 years or however long she was married to him. Maybe if somebody had come out and said, we don't want Padma Garva in our community, and we don't want these child molesters in our community, maybe I would have known and I wouldn't have put my daughter in the goddamn school. No, they want to protect these pedophiles. They want to protect them. Fuck me and my daughter. Fuck the kids. Fuck the parents that don't know that there's a pedophile in the community or multiple pedophiles in the community. Just fuck that. A lot of people don't know the history behind Prabhupada and his marriage. I found out when I joined this podcast. Also, a lot of people who know about child abuse, they choose to brush it off. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What I heard about Prabhupada, I heard something about Prabhupada. He was married. I think I read it in the Leelamrita. Something about he had a child marriage. He was 16 and his wife was 16 and he was 16. His wife was 12. He was 16, but they didn't get until, they were older. And that's all bullshit. Then I find a quote. So I believe that. I'm believing that for years, right? That he had a child marriage, but they were of age when they had sex, and it was all. And then I find a quote where Prabhupada says, my wife was 11, and I was 22, and I took her hand, and she didn't know what was happening, and she cried, and everybody's laughing. And I was like, that's pretty disgusting. That's pretty fucking disgusting, but wait a minute, she was 11? And you were 22. So this whole story about she was 16 and that's all bullshit, right? That was all bullshit story. That's all bullshit story. And then it became, because you got to remember, there wasn't always a database. The database didn't always exist. I didn't find out a lot of shit until I got a copy of the database on CD-ROM. And it wasn't called database. It was called something else. And it was actually on this other devotee had it. This other devotee had it on his computer. He had it on his computer, and I had his computer because I was doing computer work for him. And he's like, "Yeah, I got all of Prabhupada's shit on this computer." And this was like 95. This is like 95. And he's like, "I got all of Prabhupada's shit on this computer." And I was like, "Oh, really? Let me see it. Check it out." And then, so when I had his computer, I was like looking on shit on his computer. And I was finding all kinds of stuff that I didn't know. Because he had all the letters, conversations, the morning walks, all that shit. And I was researching that. Then I had to give him his computer back. And then it was like maybe 2000. It's like 99, 2000. 98, 99, 2000, somewhere around there. I got it on the CD. I got my own copy of the database. And I slapped that in there. And that's when I started researching stuff and looking stuff up. And I had all of Prabhupada's books. Everything was, I already had all of Prabhupada's books. My bookshelf looked like this lady's bookshelf. I had all of these books. Seventh Goswami. I didn't have all the Chaitanya Charitamritas, but I had the one volume. I had all of these books. I had all of this shit. But that's not the same as having the database. Because you have to have the conversations books, you got to have the lectures, you got to, everything. So, and then that's when I really started finding out all the bullshit. The conversations with Yashodanandan about beating the children. Conversations about letting the guy go when they brought him to Prabhupada and they told him that he was a molester. And Prabhupada didn't show any concern at all when they told him. He's just like, oh, really? Oh, okay, wow, all the children, really? Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, the good rice, man. You gotta know about that good rice. If you don't know about that good rice, you, you gotta know, man. They always tell you that people who talk ill of the gurus are operatis, gurus are pure devotees. Anyone questioning is a traitor. Yeah, that's. They emphasize the fact you should not question the pure devotees. Yeah, like you can't even ask, like how do you know he's a pure devotee? I remember trying to ask my friend, well, how do you know Prabhupada is the pure devotee and the guru? And he's like, well, you can tell by example. You can tell by example. Can't you tell? And I was like, well, yeah. I mean, I like his books. I like the philosophy and everything. But I mean, how do you know he's really pure? Well, he's in the Sampradaya. He's in the Sampradaya. And then I think, and then I asked something about, well, maybe, and it was like, no, don't be offensive. You can't be offensive. You can't do that. Right. At the time Srila Prabhupada got married, child marriage was socially permitted in Indian society. It was not taboo at all at that point of time. Actually, it was not. It may have been socially permitted, but it was actually, I believe it was illegal. A lot of, and not only that, but this is what ISKCON wants you to believe. I'm not trying to give you a hard time, but you're repeating what Prabhupada wants you to what ISKCON wants you to believe. This is all coming from Prabhupada. Can you imagine this? Millions of criminal excuses. First of all, he lied about being a pure devotee. Then what was the need of him getting married and getting her pregnant via immaculate conception? Yeah, what bothered me about the child marriage was why did he have to get married? If he's a pure devotee, then why did he have to get married? Why couldn't he just be this sannyasi guru? Why couldn't he just be, why does he have to get married? It's like the only difference between Prabhupada and these other gurus is these other gurus had sex at the end of their life. They ended up having sex, Maharishi and all these guys. They ended up flirting and having sex and ruining their reputation at the end of their life. Prabhupada did it backwards. He had child marriage and pedophilia in the beginning of his career, and then he tried to act as if he was this pure devotee guy, and then he actually put the child marriage into his movement. He's teaching them. Yeah, I was married at 11, so yeah, you guys can get married too. This is the Vedic way. This is the Vedic way. Fuck your Vedic way. You know what? It's just another reason to reject the Vedic bullshit. If the Vedic way includes child marriage, fuck it. I'm sorry, I don't care. It's just another great reason to not believe in that bullshit. Yeah, you're repeating the dumb excuses. Idiots are the way. So kinda. I mean, I did too. I mean, we all do. You could accept ISKCON's myriad of excuses, which still don't add up. I know. Or you could just accept it's all BS, and then things don't. And then things add up perfectly. Exactly. You have to accept all the BS in order for everything to make sense, even though it doesn't make sense. But if you accept the BS, it's all magical and mystery. It's magical mystery, and it's coming from Krishna, and it's, we can't understand. Our limited brains cannot understand why Lord Chaitanya would send someone to Ramananda Roy and then have Chota Haridas commit suicide over some good rice. Our limited brains cannot comprehend the glories of the holy name, and fuck you and your bullshit. Meanwhile, you want me to use logic and tell me it's scientific when that shit makes no logical sense at all? That's why I'm saying this lady wants to try and explain to me. She's going to explain this nonsense to me. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. And so now let's get to the main point. The main point. These friggin' idiots. These friggin'...
So I was against everything, basically.
Monks are really good at finding out what's wrong with everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we were never so good at coming up with ideas of
Any
what's
solution.
better.
Yeah, this is
Exactly.
their
There's
a
video
lot of
that's
finger
fucking up. It's not my system.
Exactly. So God was not in the picture, of course. But I would say that Krishna was always, around. I had friends that were devotees when I was a teenager.
Oh, wow.
Well, of course, I knew about shelter.
Hmm.
Also, this band from Buenos Aires, Sudarshana, that
I don't know what's wrong with their system, but so these two guys were punk rockers, and they were in a band called Shelter or what, I don't know, whatever. Right? Shelter, Krishna's taking shelter of Krishna. So they were in a band called Shelter, these two idiots. And then they become Hare Krishnas, and then they went off to become monks. At least that's what they say. And then when they, decided that being a monk wasn't for them so much, then they decided they were going to be yoga teachers, which they're going to teach bhakti yoga. But teaching bhakti yoga is a lot less demanding than being a monk. Right? As if, like if you couldn't be a monk because basically you're doing the same, you're following the four regulative principles and you're doing the same thing as a monk as you are as a yoga, just a regular, the only difference is you're having sex. These guys are wearing white, which means they don't mind hanging out with women. They got a woman right here. They don't mind hanging out with women and having sex. So that's why they're not wearing orange, because if they were wearing orange, they wouldn't be having sex. So these two punk rockers decide they're going to be monks and not have sex and, do the whole monk thing. And then they decide that they don't want to be monks. They want to have sex. Otherwise, why put on the white? What is it? They can explain it. They can explain it. Why aren't you monks anymore? What happened? I thought it was perfect. I thought you were redirected by grace, how people find their way to bhakti. That's why I say it's all a bunch of bullshit. They were cosplaying as monks. They thought that they could just become monks. This is the disease. This is the disease. Is they think that, oh, I can read. I can. These guys were very much a gateway drug for me. They present very sanitized version of bhakti where everyone is chanting and being happy. And no one's being molested. And no one's getting shot in the head. No little girls are being married off. A sanitized version of bhakti where women don't have small brains. And women don't like to be raped. But that's not true because they believe all the bullshit. These guys believe all the bullshit. These guys believe all the bullshit. They don't want to criticize the child molesters, gurus. They don't want to criticize Prabhupada. If you show them this conversation in the Veda base where Prabhupada's explaining child marriage and how to do it, they're not gonna find anything wrong with that. They're not gonna find anything wrong with anything Prabhupada says. And so if you can't find anything wrong with what Prabhupada says, then you are promoting a pedophile cult. You're promoting a pedophile cult. Come out and say the child marriage is wrong. Come out and say Prabhupada was wrong for having an 11-year-old wife when he was 22. Come out and say that 11-year-old girls should not be married off to 22-year-old men. And he should not be taking their hand and teaching them how to have sex. Gradually, over time, she stopped crying. The fuck? That's a holy man? That's a holy man. Having sex with an 11-year-old girl or a 12-year-old girl. Teaching her how to have sex with him at 22. Having sex with a 12-year-old girl, 11-year-old girl. Taking her hand. It's disgusting. Every time I say it, it gets more and more disgusting. But this is who they worship. This is their guy. This is their man. This is who they believe in. This is their pure devotee. Their Shaktivesh avatar. Their whatever the fuck. Their Jagat Guru. Their Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Parijaka, Baba Baba, whatever the fuck they want to call it. These two guys. I don't know about the girl back there. She probably believes in him too. This pedophile guy who had an 11-year-old wife, who's teaching his disciples how to do it, who's saying an 80-year-old man can have sex with a 16-year-old girl, can marry a 16-year-old girl. He said it right there in the conversation. Do I have to show you again? Do I have to show the conversation again? Where he's teaching them how to be pedophiles? If the girl has attained puberty, say 13, 14, even if the boy is only 20, 21, the boy. See, he's a boy. The boy is only 21. It is all right. All right, I want to make sure. I want to make sure I wasn't allowing them to see each other. I want to make sure they weren't doing anything unbona fide. So I'll tell him that. I'll have the Jagannath Das has done synonyms for Brahma Samhita. They're getting ready to marry this little girl to this 20-whatever-year-old man. This is not 100 years ago. This is 1977. He's instructing them how to have child marriage and how to become pedophiles. This is disgusting. These guys are disgusting. They're promoting this shit. Where are these guys? Where are these pieces of shit? Where are these pieces of shit? This is what they're promoting. They want to hide Prabhupada's past, or at least not talk about it. They always blame his successors, but they don't look at what he did. Absolutely. Absolutely. Where are the leaders? Who were the leaders associating with while Prabhupada was here? Who do they learn from? Whose books are they reading? Whose lectures are they listening to? Being Hare Krishna is like hiring Charles Manson as your spiritual advisor. You're absolutely right. That's what I said. Your brother going to New Vrindavan is like going to the Manson hangout as a pilgrimage. Hey, let's all go to New Vrindavan where they planned a murder and they murdered a couple people and they beat up Jadharani half to death and all these children were molested. Yeah, let's go there and have a party. Let's go there because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck.
Listen to a lot. So I don't know. I think that the punk hardcore scene really taught me a lot about spiritual things.
It's unbelievable how the punk hardcore scene is such a feeder for bhakti yoga.
It does have answers.
The hardcore scene is great for bhakti yoga. How delusional are these guys? Hey, look who's here. My producer's here. Hey, Raphael. Great to see you, man. Great to see you here. Wisdom of the sages. This is fucking stupidity of the dorks, these guys. These guys, how people find their way to bhakti. No, they're finding their way into a pedophile cult. A pedophile cult. And this girl back there, she is not going to be happy in this cult. Do any of these women that I've shown you, do any of them look happy? It's freaking insane. Look at this guy. Look at the nerve of this guy. You're going to sit there.
Year 2006. We're thrilled to have you all here.
Thinks,
I'll just chant some mantras and then we'll start.
He thinks he can sit there and teach Bhagavad Gita. He has a Bhagavad Gita study, part 1. So now he's going to say prayers. So now he's going to say prayers to his pedophile guru. He's saying a prayer to his pedophile guru. The man who teaches his disciples that they can have a 12-year-old wife. That's what he's teaching them. You have a 12-year-old wife. Even these two old men here can have, this guy can have a 12-year-old wife if he wants. This Kastuba Das. If he wants a 12-year-old wife, he can have one. Look, he's wearing white. He's looking for a wife. He's not married already to some young girl.
Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam.
And again, and it's disgusting. This is disgusting on many levels. Not only is he in a pedophile cult, and he's promoting this pedophile cult, and he's praying to a pedophile. It's like praying to Charlie Manson. Hey everybody, let's start this live stream with a prayer to Charlie Manson. Hey, Ezra, man, great to see you here, man. I'm glad you're here. Capo's first and better bad youth of today were straight edge. So that's why he sees bhakti as a logical progression, because they didn't drink alcohol, take drugs. No, he drank the drug of I'm going to promote a pedophile cult, whether I know it or not. And I'm just going to blindly follow this failed chemist who was a failed magazine publisher, who tried to write some books and he couldn't sell a goddamn book. So he begged a goddamn ticket on a boat to come to America so he could fucking con some hippies into selling his books for him. That's all he ever did. That's all he ever did. This guy thinks he's the greatest thing in the world. Dedicated his whole life to him. How can he be so fucking stupid? And I gotta say, man, these guys, if I see
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata.
What I was gonna say was, so it's disgusting on many levels. The next disgusting thing is, why does he think he's so qualified to teach Bhagavad Gita? Because he's white. Because he's white and he's following a pedophile, an Indian pedophile. He reads this pedophile guru book. So now he thinks that he can teach Bhagavad Gita because he's a follower of this pedophile. So now he's somehow qualified. He's qualified. How did he get qualified? Usually when you're giving a class, you're going to teach something. Like, I'm not giving a class. I'm just sitting here ranting and raving. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving a class. I'm giving you a class on what I know about my life in the Hare Krishnas and what I know about the Hare Krishnas. But I'm not trying to teach you some kind of life, spiritual, anything. I'm not trying to teach you trigonometry. I'm not trying to teach you anything. Usually when you're trying to teach somebody something, you got to go to school and learn it, and you get a degree in something, and then you're qualified to be a teacher of that subject. And you can go get a job as a teacher or a professor. And then you can sit in a classroom and you can actually teach people who want to learn what you're teaching. No, these guys, they don't do that. They read Bhagavad Gita, they read Prabhupada's books, they read his lectures, they listen to him lecture, and they watch Hridayananda or Indra Yumna Swami or some other pedophile protecting or pedophile guru. And then they go, I can do that. And then they sit there and they go online and they go, oh, I'm going to create a Bhagavad Gita channel, or I'm going to create a Bhagavad Gita study course, or I'm going to go to some bhakti center, some stupid bhakti lounge, coffee shop turned into a Bhagavad Gita classroom, and I'm going to teach Bhagavad Gita to people. And they think that they're like a Bhagavad Gita teacher, or they're some yoga, whatever the fuck. And he's going to dress up in cosplay and he's gonna part 1 Bhagavad Gita study 2026 with Kastuba Das. I'm a Bhagavad Gita teacher now.
Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha
Shri Gurum
Shri
Vaishnavam
Rupam
Nambaram
Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham
Sahastranam
Vitam
Arambaram
Sajivam
Pambalam Bambalam
Sadvaitam
Bambaram
Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya
Krishna
Devam
Chaitanyam
Shri
Devam
Radha
Shri Advaita
Krishna
Gadadhar Shri
Paradam
Vasudeva
Sahagana
Gauravakta Vrinda
Lalita
Hare
Shri
Krishna Hare what
Vishakam
fucking bullshit.
Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapate
Dina Bandhu
Gopesha Gopika Kanta
The
Radha
tranquilizing power of
Kanta
bedtime tales upon the
Namostate
minds that do not
Tapta
seek.
Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavanishvari
Both of them are best friends with
Vrishabhanusute
Slavin
Devi
Radhanath Cockroach
Pranamami Hari
Swami.
Priye
Yeah,
Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Titanam Bhavane.
yeah, they know. These two guys know. These two guys know about the shooting in the van of the Slochan. They know about all the Kirtanananda and what he did, and all the molestations and suicides and murders and beatings of devotees. They know all about that. They're all in on it. They're all in on it. Monkey Boy, great to see you, man. I'm so glad you're here, man. It's always good to see the Monkey Boy in here. And then Tim, who in the hell created these dumb things? I'm so fucking stupid. Second-hand embarrassment. I know, man. Spiritual narcissism. Spiritual narcissist at its highest degree. It is. You gotta have such an ego to sit there and think that you can teach Bhagavad Gita. This Bhagavad Gita, like he's teaching pickleball. Like he's gonna teach, like Bhagavad Gita is pickleball, or like he's reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and we're gonna discuss, like he's got a book club and he's gonna discuss Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Bhagavad Gita it's one of the world's ancient scriptures. I'm not saying it has any special anything, but it's it's like, it would be like me picking up the Quran, reading it once or twice, listening to somebody lecture about the Quran, and then me going online and going, you know what, I'm gonna teach the Quran. That makes about as much sense. I mean, books like the Bhagavad Gita, the Bible, the Quran. There's some other, scriptures or whatever. People have written books about them and debated them and studied them, and there's college courses on them. You can get degrees in these things. You can study Indiology and all the things that go along with it. And still, scholars will argue about, who wrote it and when and why and the meanings and all of these things. And they can have debates, and they do, and they discuss, and they do. But no, this guy thinks that he's going to sit there and teach Bhagavad Gita because he put on a dhoti and he put wrapped this thing around him, and he's got his hair cut real short. He's got some tilak on, and he's friends with Radhanath and Dickie Slavin. And he's going to teach Bhagavad Gita. He can teach Bhagavad Gita.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Enough with that bullshit.
How much gigabytes,
he's got
terabytes,
slides
I don't
and
even know
everything.
How much information is on YouTube? It's like a colossal amount of information. And where is it? It's floating through the atmosphere. And you just need the right technology, and you can tap into it and download it. And so the yogis are saying that's how this Veda works. And you might say, okay, but we have technology in order to do it. But they would say, well, you know what? The human brain, the human mind, these are far more subtle, well-developed instruments than.
It's again, it's just cosplaying. It's cosplaying. It's no different if I dressed up like Willy Wonka and I started talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And I'm like, hey, I'm Charlie. I'm Willy Wonka, and I'm going to read to you from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And then I started reading from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. And then I was like, started breaking it down. Well, what Willy Wonka means when he says, Augustus Gloop, don't do that. What he really means, he's in the mood of Charlie. And Charlie and Grandpa represent the mind and the senses. And Augustus Gloop represents Maya. And so Augustus Gloop, he wants the chocolate, which represents material enjoyment. Whatever the fuck, it makes no sense and nobody cares. No one would listen to me sit there and do that about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Maybe if I made sense. I don't know. I for 5 seconds, I don't know. It's Radhanath Swami is like their best mate. Perhaps next time he's on, they should ask him about it. They already know. They already know. They know all this shit. All freaking guilty, psychopathic crooks. How do you do that? How do you sit there promoting a pedophile cult and you're friends with the guy who was running the whole thing in New Vrindavan? You're friends with the guy who was initiated by the child molester, the murderer. You're friends with the murderer. Excuse me. You're friends with the murderer, and the murderer's friends with this, and you know. And you're going to sit there and teach Bhagavad Gita like you're some spiritual guy when you know, when you're friends with the murdering, child molesting gurus who abuse children and women and everybody, and you're going to sit there and act like you're a Bhagavad Gita teacher? Some kind of guru dressed up like a fucking idiot in your t-shirt and your dhoti and your chador wrapped around you like you don't even know how to dress correctly? You don't even know how to cosplay correctly? Because you're on a platform where it doesn't matter. I'm on such a high platform, I can wear a t-shirt with a dhoti, and I don't have to wear the dhoti correctly, and I can wear this thing around me, this chador that's supposed to go around my shoulders. I'm going to wear it under my arm because, who cares? I'm just cosplaying anyway. Does it matter what I look like? I don't know what I'm talking about. So do I have to really dress up right? Who cares?
Your computer, right? And they have the capacity to download information. So that Veda is there. But there'd be certain sages that could download it and then share it. They would share it orally.
I'd ask this guy, my first question, I'd be like, what the fuck are you wearing? What the fuck are you wearing? You got like a lungi, you got a dhoti, you're wearing it as a lungi, and you got a white t-shirt on, and then you got some heavy wool chador under your arm and over your shoulder like a Miss USA pageant, like you got crowned Miss USA. And I know what he's doing. He's trying to look like some kind of sage or something. But he looks like an idiot. I'd be like, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? You can just either cosplay correctly with a dhoti kurta, or don't cosplay at all and just sit there like an idiot. And I know I'm giving him a hard time over, but it's true. The guy's an idiot. Well, who would sit there and listen to this guy?
There was no need to write it down in past ages because people could memorize it. And to this day, just recently in the news.
More bullshit. More of their bullshit about how back in the old people could memorize the Bhagavatam, the entire Bhagavatam, verbatim, perfectly, to memory. Yeah, right. Yeah, prove that. Prove it. Prove it. I can say anything, people used to be able to pick up these buildings and carry them over across the river. But they can't do that now. You just say anything. Oh, the Vedas were passed down through centuries, millennia, through memorization. And yeah? How do you know? How the fuck you know? Because someone told you? Because Prabhupada told you? Because Prabhupada's telling you this bullshit? You want to fucking believe it? Fucking. The fact that they know all this stuff makes them feel special. They're supposed to be biggest con swamis, inner circle of cosplay mafia. I know, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. They know all the bullshit. They don't care. They don't care about the bullshit because it makes them feel special. That it's mental fucking illness is what it is. If any of us were running around protecting pedophiles because we thought we were some kind of spiritual master, guru, whatever, of some weird ass cult, they would fucking lock us up. Lock us up. These guys are a front. These guys are nothing but a front. If you want to look at it that way, if they actually know, if they know all the shit that I know, and they better know. If they know all the shit that we know, they know all the shit that I know, and they're still in it, acting like nothing's happening in that bullshit, and then they're guilty. That's bullshit, man. They're guilty. All these people, all these women, she's guilty. Look at these guys.
What exactly is brahmacharya?
Brahmacharya means controlling sex indulgence or sex impulse.
You gotta think. Like, why all this emphasis on denying sex and no sex and no sex and brahmacharya and sannyasi and no sex and no sex, and meanwhile, it's friggin' pedophilia fucking explosion going on. Let's think about that. Why all the emphasis on this brahmacharya and
Masturbation, it's a gross part of brahmacharya. But I think brahmacharya entails a much higher perspective.
So after 25 years, he does not discharge semen. He becomes very stout, strong, and his health is built up for whole life. And he becomes so intelligent that anything he will hear, he'll remember immediately.
And they believe this shit. They will believe that crap. Don't discharge semen. It'll travel up your spine and go into your brain, and then you'll be able to have all this knowledge, and you'll be able to understand, and then you'll become so intelligent. Anything he will hear, he will remember immediately. This is such bullshit. And they believe that they want you to believe this shit? Meanwhile, pedophilia is running rampant, and it's running rampant. It's so rampant that they can't even contain it. They just admit it and just excuse it. Because I might become a ghost. I can't even condemn it anymore. I'm just gonna let it go and make up excuses why I gotta let it go. There is no reason to let these pedophiles go. Chota Haridas did not get a pass on the good rice by Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya did not say, oh, well, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, if I criticize Chota Haridas, I might become a ghost. He didn't say, "Oh, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that if someone commits the most abominable actions, if he's fixed in Krishna consciousness, then he is saintly and considered to be saintly." Now, Chaitanya didn't quote that when Chota Haridas stole the good rice. He said, "Hey, that's some good rice. Who the fuck's bringing me good rice?" Oh, it was him. It was him. Well, get his face out of my face. I don't ever want to see the face of a man who begs rice from a woman. He didn't quote no verse from Bhagavad Gita. And there was no Chaitanya Charitamrita to quote from, so he couldn't have done that. But he didn't quote from the Bhagavad Gita. He didn't say, "Oh, well, he got some." How bad is it if you get some rice? Good rice. You're going to tell me that getting good rice from an old elderly Vaishnavi is worse than rubbing your hands all over some 11-year-old girl? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Oh, Bhakti Vikash Swami, he doesn't want to say anything bad about his child molester buddies because he might become a ghost. But Chaitanya didn't have a problem banishing Chota Haridas for getting some good rice. For getting some goddamn good rice. If you can't be the part, at least look the part. Yeah, he can't even look the part. He can't be the part or look the part. How many criminal devotees fled to India to avoid arrest? All of them. They all did. All the criminal devotees fled to India to avoid arrest. Hey, good to see you, 9578. Come back, man. I want to see you again. I like all the input. So, and like, share, and subscribe before you head out. Like, share, and subscribe. This girl's husband must have been involved in some deeply criminal. This girl's husband must have been involved in some deeply criminal shit. Oh, man. I wish cult deprogramming was still legal. I know, right? I know, right? A friend of mine, PhD in philosophy, said the ISKCON philosophy appears deep to the simple-minded. If the guru says 5 + 5 is 12, you must accept no real logical, rational thought in their obedience. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why there is no philosophy. They want to talk about a Chincha Beta Beta Tattva and the philosophy and, this and that. There is no philosophy. The philosophy is you accept what I say or get the fuck out. That's exactly what Prabhupada said. He told those two devotees, don't ask me. Don't ask me to explain how King Ugrasena had 4 billion servants. There's the door if you don't believe it. If you don't want to accept it, get out. It's the philosophy of it's my way or the highway. It's not even based on philosophy. It's based on whatever Prabhupada says. If Prabhupada says that a swan can drink milk from water, then a swan can drink milk from water. If Prabhupada says that women like to be raped, well then fuck it. Women like to be raped. There's no philosophy. There's no Achincha Beta Beta Tattva saying that women have small brains, and if you don't believe me, there's the door. That's not philosophy. That's authoritarianism. That's a dictator. That's fucking megalomaniac cult leader. That's all that is. He didn't even try to explain how he could have 4 billion servants because he knows they ain't gonna explain that. He didn't even try to philosophically explain. He just said, "Don't ask me to explain it. I said it. It's in my books. It's it." Because Prabhupada knew he couldn't explain it. Prabhupada knew there's no explanation. It's accept on faith only. There's no logic, there's no science, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just accept it because I say it. Because he's accepting it because someone told him. He didn't ask, how did King Ugraseda have 4 billion? No, he didn't ask, so don't ask him. That would be bad enough if it wasn't a child molesting pedophile cult. I'm gonna keep hitting it, and that's my goal for 2026. This is a pedophile cult. It ain't just a cult. This ain't just no high control group, some cult that manipulates people's minds. No, this is a cult that teaches men how to be pedophiles. It promotes child marriage. It's offensive and harmful to women and little girls. That's what this is. I'm not playing nice anymore. Not when you got Prabhupada explaining how they can be, how to marry them. How? 10 years, 12 and 19, that's a good combination. That sounds good to me. Let's make that the standard, 12 and 19, because this 19-year-old boy can have a 12-year-old girl. That's what this cult is about. That's what this cult is about. If you ask me, I'm going to assume, I'm going to assume that, where is this fucker? Seriously, I'm not playing around. I'm not playing around. These guys are wearing white because they want some young girl. They read Prabhupada's books. They read his conversations. They know that an 80-year-old man can have a 16-year-old girl. They know that a 19-year-old, 26-year-old man can have an 11, 12-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl. So yeah, why wouldn't they put on a white and start trolling for little girls? That's what Prabhupada says. That's what Prabhupada says in his books. Why wouldn't they be trolling for little girls? They believe everything Prabhupada says. They live by what he says. That's why they're wearing white. That's why this guy's wearing white. He wants a young wife, like Prabhupada says. There's no prohibition. He could be 80 years old and get a 16-year-old. So hell, why should I be a sannyasi? I'll just put on white. And hopefully I'll get me a little 12-year-old. That's what I think. You're in a pedophile cult. You're wearing white. You want a wife. Prabhupada says you can have a 12-year-old, 13, 14, 15. You believe everything Prabhupada says. So I believe that you want a fucking 12-year-old wife. That's what I believe. Fucking pedophiles. You believe what Prabhupada says. You're teaching from his book. You're having a Bhagavad Gita. You're having a goddamn Bhagavad Gita class. You hang around with Dickie Slavin. Probably hang out at New Vrindavan. You worship a man that was 22 years old, had an 11-year-old wife. Why wouldn't I think that you want to do exactly like him? You want to be like him. You want to teach Bhagavad Gita like him. You want to dress like him. Why wouldn't I think that you want an 11-year-old wife like him? Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Go on there and say that Prabhupada was wrong to promote child marriage. Go on your Bhagavad Gita class and say, you know what, I'm getting a lot of flack about Prabhupada. We're in a pedophile cult, so I just want to make sure that everybody understands that I'm not a pedophile, and I do not believe that Prabhupada should have married an 11-year-old girl. He's not going to do that. He's not going to come out and say that Prabhupada was wrong to promote child marriage and that what Prabhupada says in this conversation is wrong. And that a 19-year-old boy should not be married and 12-year-old girls should not be forced to marry 19-year-old men. 26-year-old men. Come out and say that. Come out, make a public statement and say that. Say, no, I'm not looking for a 12-year-old wife because I don't believe in child marriage. Say, I don't want a 12-year-old wife. I don't believe in child marriage at all. I think Prabhupada's wrong for saying that. Come out and do that. Prove me wrong. No, they can't do that. They can't do it because I'm right. God damn the gurus and the motherfuckers who brought me to this cult. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. These guys that were my friends, the Beer Lakshman character that brought me into this cult, Radhakund, Sri Maya, and Janardana, Chaitanya Ballava, and who else? And Jai Narayan, and Mahatma, and Jaganambika. All of these are all the people that influenced me in the beginning when I was being manipulated, and you know, these are the people that were like, oh yes, this is, and you know, lying to me. Fuck them. Fuck them all. And that's what I'm saying. I know what it's like to be misled by these people. I know what it's like to go to the temple and to be lied to. Straight up lied to. They don't care if they're lying to you because it's okay if it's for Krishna. And I know people will get a book and go up to the temple and they will be lied to. They'll ask a simple question like, I heard there was child molestation in your, oh yeah, but we fixed that. Oh, that was in the past. We have a child protection office and we have a whole thing, and yeah, that doesn't happen no more. No, it happens every fucking day. Retards are us. I know, man. Got to do what you got to do. We gotta wake people up. Everybody, please like, share, and subscribe. Most of his followers are full of questions. Are full of questions to his nonsense and pretend it's all okay, but they are deep inside, full of confusion and illusion. Yes, I believe that a lot of devotees, like me and like us, they have doubts and confusion and anxiety, but we try not to pay attention to it. We just try to chant and read and stay somehow not confronting our doubts and the confusion and the anxiety and the unhappiness. We don't want that. We want to be happier. We want it to be real. We want it to be real, and we believe a lot of their stuff. Like, I'm not feeling it because I'm not chanting. I'm not in the right mood. I'm not hearing the words. I'm not speaking them properly. I'm not chanting attentively. I'm not, whatever it is, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Like Raphael said, it's their ridges, teachings that bring the worst out of their devotees. It's like all the bad intrusive thoughts that you that you don't really feel, but your brain generates like AI, like some weird. And you're like, what the fuck am I? It's like all those intrusive. It like gives fertile ground to intrusive thoughts. Like you don't think women are stupid or less intelligent, but you might have an intrusive thought now and then, like, fuck, that woman cut me off in traffic. Yeah, that's why women are dumb or something like that. It's like an intrusive thought, and you go, well, you don't really believe that, but your brain just generated that out of frustration or anger or whatever. And you go, no, I don't think women are stupid. I was just in anger. But the teachings are like, yeah, all your intrusive, racist, bad thoughts that somehow pop up in your head, those are real, and you should embrace those thoughts. and give license to every horrible idea or horrible thing that could possibly exist. I mean, the child marriage thing and the pedophilia thing, it's just beyond me. When these gurus can sit there and say, you know what, I'm going to excuse this guy, or they have a whole child protection office, just excuse these gurus for child molestation. Lokanath Swami, or letting them back into Mayapur, where they can roam around freely amongst women and children, whoever. I mean, like Rameshwar is back. Like, you can't even just say, hey, you know, you need to go away. Just go somewhere else. You can't do it. You can't do it. Like, why? Why is it so hard to tell a child molester or a rapist, you're not welcome here? You're not welcome here. They can't do it. They just can't do it. They can't do that, but they want to sit there and teach Bhagavad Gita. Because they want to teach Bhagavad Gita. They want to teach, oh, well, you know, Krishna says that even if somebody does something abominable, you have to forgive them. First of all, I don't know that Krishna says that. Prabhupada says he says that, and these gurus say he says that, but I don't know that he's saying that. Lord Chaitanya didn't say that. Chaitanya didn't say that. Oh, I have to excuse Chota Haridas because you know, he's doing devotional service and he accidentally you know, had a accidental fall down with begging good rice from Madhavi Devi. But you know, it does say in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, and you know, and hey, I'm Krishna himself. So I'm Krishna, and I say in the Bhagavad Gita that I gotta forgive. So if I'm telling myself that I gotta forgive, then why can't I forgive? Bullshit. In the 90s, I was into karate. I heard of the Karate Kid Krishnas. Turns out a guy named Suradas of the BBT, I spoke to him at length several times, seemed down to earth on family values. Okay, so I knew Sura. I knew Sura as well as I knew anyone at the temple, because his kids went to the school that my daughter was in. In fact, I think my daughter is still connected with his daughter. I forget her name. His son's name is Nomi. His son's name is Nomi, and his daughter's name is Saraswati, I think, or I forget. Okay, so let me tell you about Sura. So yeah, so Sura had his kids. Okay, so you were there when I was there, because Sura had his daughter and his son in karate, and I put my daughter in karate along with Sura's kids. So Sura and I both had our kids. Not only were I knew Sura. So not only were both our kids in the school together when my daughter was molested, but my daughter was also in the karate class that Sura's kids were in. But my daughter didn't last. She didn't like it, and it was expensive, and I couldn't afford it. So I took her out of the karate. Now Sura, he had like two kids. He had like two kids from this wife, his wife, the mother of his kids, his wife that he was married to, his devotee wife. And then they separated, and he got this young, girl, like this young, I don't know how old she was. She was young. She was young, okay? She was because Sura was my age. Sura was my age, you know, so he was, you know, probably 35, 40. No, he's a little older than me. So he was, because he passed away. Sura was a little older than me. So, but anyway, his daughter, my daughter, the same age. Him and his wife separated, and he got this young girl that he had as a wife that he was living with. And she was young. She was like I don't know if she was a teenager. Now that I think about it, now that you brought it up, she was definitely this young girl, and she was like really young. She wasn't underage. I'm not gonna say she wasn't underage. She wasn't underage, but she was young. He had like 19, and he was a grown man my age, older than me. Anyway, that's Surah. So yeah, that was Surah. Rigged fake teachings aimed at destroying people's lives. It aimed at getting them to do work, aimed at getting free labor. The whole thing is book distribution. The whole thing is spreading this movement. The whole thing is opening temples and spreading these books. And these people are destroying their lives in service of this movement. Absolutely, it is destroying people's lives, destroying their mind. I blame Hare Krishna Das' husband of Radha Dasi, Xavier Quadros, for bringing me into the cult. He is still in it and puts a blind eye to the crime happening right in front of his eyes. They all do. Because it's like a mafia. So it's like, what, crime? What else you want us to do? You're bitching about crime? These are karmis. We're taking advantage of karmis. We're liberating Lakshmi. We're getting the Lakshmi from the karmis, and we're delivering it to Krishna's lotus feet. That's the greatest thing we can do, because then the karmis are getting service, they're getting benefit, and we're getting Lakshmi, and we're giving it to Prabhupada and Krishna. If you're a public figure like these fools and they want to defend this cult, they will be held accountable and publicly denounced for their criminal actions. That's what I say. If you are online and you are promoting this pedophile cult, you need to know that we recognize this as a pedophile cult now. You are in a pedophile cult, and I will be broadcasting that this is a pedophile cult. With the teachings I'm showing, where Prabhupada is not 100 years ago. This is not something that Prabhupada did and never taught his disciples. He taught this to his disciples. That's what's so disgusting about it, is he taught this. He's teaching this to them. He's teaching this to them. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the only conversation where they're having about. This is the one that I've found. This is the one that I know of now. But I'm going to tell you right now, there are other conversations that are just like this. Bedtime stories. Bedtime stories are full of pedophilia and child marriage. It's like they're not even. It's like you shouldn't be reading these stories to your children. Now, you should not be reading these stories to your children. Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm going to go back to this, because this is more of the insanity.
So brahmacharya is not just celibacy, it's in practical sense.
I don't know why the sound is so low on some of these videos. I guess
whatever Lord has blessed you with, the resources, the intelligence, the consciousness, the skills, the abilities.
1 ounce of seminar discharge means 40 ounces of blood sucked. He is enjoying his own blood and is thinking of enjoying. Therefore, he is compared with the cat.
You believe that this guy, so this is a holy man. This is a holy man talking about 1 ounce of semen discharge means 40 ounces of blood sucked. This is a fact. So he is enjoying his own blood, and he's thinking, I am enjoying, therefore he's compared with the camel. You know, it's interesting. it's interesting that this old man who had sex with an 11-year-old girl is now talking shit about having sex, when obviously he couldn't control himself around an 11. He was not able to say, hey, I don't want to get married. I'm going to live a holy life I'm going to be a preacher. I'm going to be a guru. I'm going to be the sannyasi. I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to discharge semen. I'm going to have it go up my spine and into my brain. I'm going to be the smartest man in the world. He didn't do that. He had sex. He had an 11-year-old wife. And he went and had sex with her. He went and had sex with her. He took her hand. She didn't know what was going on, but he took her hand. And gradually, over time, she learned not to cry. Not to cry when he was on top of her having sex with her. And now in his old age, he's going to turn around and say, oh, he's enjoying his own blood. He's thinking, I'm enjoying. Therefore, he's compared with the camel, because the camel bites thorns, and then his tongue bleeds, and then the camel swallows the blood and likes the taste of the blood. So he enjoys this. This is Prabhupada. Acting like he wasn't sucking blood, like he wasn't enjoying sex, like he wasn't discharging semen at 22 years old. You know, he didn't have no semen go up his spine into his brain. He didn't not discharge semen for 25 years like he says. No, as soon as he had his 11-year-old bride, he went off and he banged her. Fucking hypocrite piece of shit. Hypocrite piece of shit, pedophile motherfucker, ruining people's lives over his nonsense, over his bullshit, over his pedophilia, people giving up their families, giving up their futures, giving up everything so they can go follow this pedophile. And then they want to sit there like they are some, because they're following this pedophile. Now they're some genius Bhagavad Gita teacher. Give me a fucking break, these pieces of shit. All you're doing is spreading your pedophile cult around. That's all you're doing. More and more people can get involved with your pedophilia and your child marriage and ruining little girls' lives and women's lives, abusing them, turning people into Narayan, smacking their wives around, raping their wives, smacking them around, going from one wife to another. Young Kiwi, old Kiwi, young Kiwi. Prabhupada honestly sounds like a complete moron. He is a complete moron. You got more sense than your brother. You've got so much more sense than your brother. He is a complete moron. That's why I do that's why I do this. Because if you just listen to them and you just read their books and you listen to what they have to say and you watch these videos like this guy, you're not going to know the truth about Prabhupada. You're not going to know the truth. You're not going to understand the truth. People are fucking insane. Prabhupada has fucking corrupted these people. He's abused them. He's manipulated them. They're victims, but they're perpetrators. All due to this fucking Prabhupada fucking pedophile fucking cult. A hypocritical con man of the highest sort. Absolutely. Telling people not to get married, meanwhile he had an 11-year-old wife. Telling people to go to the jungle at 50 years old. He didn't go to the jungle when he was 50 years old. Telling people to renounce everything. He didn't renounce anything. That's why Shiva Ram can go fucking raise money to go swim in a river, and he doesn't feel any shame. Because Prabhupada Prabhupada was a scammer too. Prabhupada was a scammer too. How did your brother learn about Hare Krishnas? Yeah, pause. Tell him how your brother learned. Tell us how your brother learned about the Hare Krishnas. Tell us how this happened to your brother. I mean, I know he got a book, but you can tell us. They won't eat meat, but they will trash and cut down a flower patch just to wear it. Yeah, because they think that offering it to Krishna, offering it to some imaginary pedophile, is going to relieve them of some kind of insanity. So yeah, Paz's brother got a book when their grandmother, was it your grandmother? Your grandmother passed away, and got a book, and now it's all over. It's all over from there. All over from there. What else do we got? What else do I got today? I think that's about it for today. I mean, he just met them in New York City one day. Oh my God. He was into meditation, Eastern stuff for a while. Oh man. See how it happens, man. See how it happens. And if your brother had known that they were into this, and snorting tobacco, snorting snuff. It was the gentleman's tobacco. He started snorting tobacco. Exactly. And if, a lifelong snuff addict, and if your brother had known about the pedophilia and all of this stuff, if your brother had known about all of this stuff, he never would have gave him the time of day. He never would have given him the time of day. Wheel of Idiot. Wheel of Idiot. Yeah, let's do the Wheel of Idiot. So what we're supposed to be doing is supposed to be creating a new Wheel of Idiot with new names. And then he said when he learned about Prabhupada, he saw that Prabhupada is the real deal. You need to ask him, how did he come to the conclusion that Prabhupada was the real deal? How did he come to that conclusion? And you really need to focus in on that. How did you come to the conclusion that Prabhupada is the real deal? Which Prabhupada? My question is, which Prabhupada is he talking about? Because the Prabhupada I see is a fraud and a moron. Yes, he's been brainwashed. So he got the brainwashing first. So kind of what you need to do is you need to say like, you gotta tell you, say, hey, I've been listening to Prabhupada. I've been watching the videos, Prabhupada videos. I've been listening to his lectures, and I'm not impressed. Like, what impresses you? Because I don't see it. And let him explain it. They'll say something like, oh, well, can't you just tell by the way he preaches? He's got so much. Preaches what? Oh, I know that answer too. He said probably comes from an uninterrupted line of true devotees and bona fide gurus. So that proves it. Yeah, how did he authenticate that line of people? How does he know that those people are real in that line? How does he know that people are real? I mean, I could make up a line and say, so and so. How does he know? And first of all, that line is not uninterrupted. It is interrupted. There is no line. You have to understand that line was created. That's not real. That's the scam. That's the scam, is that line is not real. Because George Harrison said he was. Yeah, because my guru said he was. Because somebody else says he is. Because somebody else says he is. So first of all, it's not an uninterrupted line. That line is interrupted. There's some big gaps. Prabhupada says in his books, he says, don't mind the gaps. Prabhupada says, don't mind the gaps. So whoever told him that his uninterrupted line is not interrupted. Now, if you read it, if you just look in the book and read it, it's uninterrupted because it goes, there's a list. There's no gap in the list. But because they don't show you the gap in the list. But there's gaps in that list. It's not an unbroken line. So that's the first lie. And they know it's not, and that's not even, it's known that it's not unbroken. So that's the first thing. It's not unbroken. So he's being lied to. The second thing is half of those people aren't even real. Those are not real people in that unbroken line. You can't prove that those people ever existed. Okay, that's number two. You can't prove that there was a Jayanidhi, or that there was a Tirtha Yavana, or that there was a Tirtharaj, or that there was a Yadavana Manava, or that there was a Madhavadacharya. You can't prove that. Those are made up names. So yeah, I know it's I know man, I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm not giving you a hard man. I want your brother to see the truth. I want your brother to see the truth, man. I know so yeah, that's a short story how we got here, and now he's in New Vrindavan. I'm going to see how he's doing maybe tomorrow because I don't know what goes on over there. Man, you could write a book about this. You could write a book about how my brother joined the Hare Krishnas. And let everybody know that this is what can happen. This is what can happen. So you can let people know. Your brother was a normal person, walking around, had a normal job, normal everything normal. Walking around New York, he met these fucking freaks. And now he's off at this fucking crime scene place where all kinds of atrocities go on, where they worship people there. He's in a pedophile cult. It's so sad. I know, man. It's Delulu verified, man. Absolute. Delusion loaded. Unpacked. Do you think you can go there and maybe get him into a hospital or a hotel and get him some meds? Yeah, I know, man. It's like, it's so sad. It is so sad over this bullshit. And he's listening to people like this. I show you who he's listening to. He's got a guru and everything. My wife and I visited New Vrindavan in West Virginia. She thought many of the devotees were mentally disturbed. I pray your brother maintains sanity and gets the hell out. I know. That's what I'm saying. I know. It's so sad. And this is happening in real life. I mean, in real time. This is happening in real time. Paz came in here and found my videos months after he joined, and we've been going back and forth with this for like over a year now. It is so sad, so sad. Okay, what we got here. We got a wheel of karma, a wheel of idiots. And let's update this. So if you guys want to add some names, let's get these names, get some names updated. Yeah, I know. I know you can't. There's nothing you can do. You can't force them out. You can't. There's just absolutely nothing you can do. And we know that deprogramming is the only thing. And yeah, just try to talk some sense. Just trying to talk some sense into him, basically. Yeah, it's really sad, and we all know. We all know we've been there. We all know we've been there. Does anybody want to add some? Let's add some names to this wheel. Let's add some names. So we got Bhakti Vikash, Jayapataka, Radhanath, Chanchalapati. We have Mahatma. We have Namaras Podcast. We have Harvard Dumbass Goswami. We got Shiva Ram, Swimmer Pod. We got Swimmer Pod, we got Trivigram Sex Swami, we got Paranjan Pod, Crossdresser, we've got Gora Haridas and Hot Lips, we've got Devamrita Swami, we got Narayan Maharaj, Bicycle Das, we've got Hare Krishna Project Podcast. So if anybody wants to add some names, just give me some names, throw in there. We can put in there, we can add Radha Dasi, right? We want to add Radha Dasi. Tao, is that her name? We have Gorhari, yes, we have Gorhari. We don't have Wisdom of the Sages in there, I guess because they were in there at one time, we took them out. We'll put them in there just for fun. This cult causes mental issues, and most people who stay either need to go to a psychologist. It does. I agree with you, Hayden. I was in therapy not because of this cult. I was in therapy for grief when my wife passed away, and I went in. I was having a hard time dealing with that, and I went into therapy. And I was in therapy when I was in therapy when I was coming to my senses, and I have to tell you that was really great. And I know that a lot of people don't have that, aren't that fortunate to be in therapy when you're coming out of a cult, but I did. I was lucky. I was lucky enough to be in therapy, and I was actually, my mother was sick, and she was, about to pass away, and that's at the time when I actually made my break. Was when I was taking care of my mother when she was passing away. That was. I was really fortunate to be able, to have a therapist that I was able to talk to, not only about grief but also about being in a cult and coming out of a cult. I was able to talk to him, and it was very helpful, but I would imagine if I hadn't had therapy, I probably would have needed it. I probably would have needed it if I hadn't been in therapy. It was so stressful. It was so draining. It was overwhelming. Death threats, just the mental, just the anxiety and all the confusion and realizations of pedophilia and revelations of my friends. These people aren't my friends; they're cult members, and just the whole thing. It was overwhelming. It was really overwhelming. I can't underestimate. I can't underemphasize. I can't underemphasize what it's like. So. You're right. People who stay in, even that guy that got out, and I showed the video of the guy getting out, and it took him a year to figure it out, and he wrote letters, and he's doing this. That's a whole friggin' mental thing, man. And he wasn't abused. His daughter wasn't abused. He wasn't abused. All of this stuff. He just couldn't deal with it anymore. And that's traumatic enough. What to speak of these children that have been abused, and these women that have been abused, Rupa Manjaris and Hot Lips, who've been abused, and now they're in an abusive pedophile cult that thinks they're dumb and have small brains. And these guys are still taking advantage of them. They're still taking advantage of them. Bhaktabringa Govinda Swami, best friends with Shiva Ram. They're all buddies. And Indra Yumna and Bhakti Vikash and Keshava Bharati and Shiva Ram and Radha. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You can't say, well, Keshava Bharati is a child molester and Bhakti Vidyapurna is a child molester and Bhakti Vikash Swami is protecting these guys, but everybody else is okay. No. Everybody else is right along with them. They're all in the same group. It's all the same. It's all the same party. It's all the same party. That's why I like you. I was a psychiatric nurse for 20 years. Therapeutic counsels work. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Therapy, I was enjoying the therapy. Once I got over my wife passing away, I was continuing with the therapy because I liked it. I liked going and talking to the therapist and just talking about whatever. It was great. Even though I wasn't really in the grief, I wasn't grieving anymore. But it took years. It took like 2 years for me to get over the grieving, maybe even longer. And then when I started to feel kind of good about myself again, and I was just continuing with the therapy just to talk to the therapist because I got used to it, and it was great talking to the guy. I loved it. And then my mom got sick, and now I was going to the therapist because my mother was sick. I was telling him about my mother was, in the hospital, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, doc. It doesn't look good. And while that was happening, I'm also coming out of the cult. So I'm telling him, yeah, my mom's passing away, and I'm trying to leave this cult that I'm in, and I'm getting death. So I'm like doing all this stuff at the same time, and it was. I don't know if I could have had. If I hadn't been in therapy, I probably would have needed it. I'm not joking. I probably would have needed it. Because it was a lot to deal with. It was a lot to deal with. And that was my situation. Everybody's situation is different. And so these children that are abused and they're not getting help, these women that are abused and they're not getting help, that's just making everything worse. Rupa Manjari is not getting help. Hot Lips is not getting help. These children that are abused are not getting help. And they're in this cult. It's fucking. It's. That's why I feel like this is so important. What I'm doing is, even though I might only be reaching 14 people or 15 people, or maybe 200 people watching this video, I still feel like this is important for me to put this out there because somebody is looking for this. There's somebody out there that's looking for somebody to be talking about this stuff. Yeah, I hope he gets better. I'll keep him in my thoughts. Yeah, we all hope he gets better, man. Let me tell you, we all. In professional therapy, nobody is bullshitting you. Just real healing process. Yeah, I think that any of you Hare Krishnas that are out there, that are watching this video right now, and you're having issues about leaving, whether you're in a cult or you're not in a cult, or you've been thinking about leaving but you don't know how, or you're just now going, oh my God, I didn't know about any of this stuff. No matter where you are, if you're in this cult, you might want to seek out a therapist and just and talk to them, honestly, and just talk to them, and that's my advice. That's my advice. Yeah, we all want what's best for your brother, man. We all want what's best for your brother. I swear. This is so important. Most people who leave don't ever find out who the monster founder of this cult really was. That's what I tend to believe that most people come in and get out. They get in and get out, and they don't realize what they were in. They don't realize, and even if they feel traumatized or they have some PTSD, a lot of them still don't know. They still really don't know what's going on, and so I think it's It's helpful. It's helpful. That's why I studied psychology. Yeah. You know, I think a lot of people that get involved in cults and get out of cults go into psychology. They want to know more about how did I get into this and why do these things exist? And how do, and, you know, and like the whole thing about like, because we didn't know. And I didn't go to school and study anything. I've been doing my studying on my own research. But yeah, I do believe that if you're in the cult, if you're in Hare Krishnas now, you're a Ritvik or you're in ISKCON, or you're following any guru, you might want to see a therapist about it. And maybe, I'm not saying, you know, because you're crazy. I'm saying you just might want to talk to somebody about it. You just might want to talk to somebody about it. And you know what? And I would say, and bring me up. Say, hey, I'm in this cult. I really like this cult that I'm in. But I saw this guy on the video, and he was talking about all this stuff. And I decided I wanted to, yeah, no, whatever it is. But I really recommend, if you're in a cult, if you're in this cult, think about seeing a professional therapist, even if it's just like one visit. You know, just do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor, man. I mean, this cult is worse than Jim Jones. This cult is worse than Jim Jones. It's the same. It's the same damn thing. It's this, I say, it's the same damn thing. If these gurus, they all got together and they said, hey, look, man, the world is shit's, they're on to us. They're going to come and they're going to round us all up. And if you're a devotee, we need to go back to Godhead now. And they said, you know, meet us at the temple. We're all going to go back to Godhead tomorrow. There'd be a shit ton of people at the goddamn temple ready to go back to Godhead. And so I know, and it's hard to believe, but I know for a fact that if Radhanath Swami and Deva Amrita and a bunch of these gurus all got together, they said, hey, everybody, they're coming down on Hare Krishna, and they're gonna do some shit to us. So rather than that, we're all gonna go meet at the temple, and we're all going back to Godhead together. There'd be a ton of people at the temple ready to go back to Godhead. I know it. It's extremely crucial to speak out. The truth will set us free. It is. It's important. And now we're gonna add. I don't see anybody. Don't want to add anybody to this wheel. We're gonna spin this wheel. We're gonna spin this wheel, and let's get the. Where's the? You want to wager? You want to wager? Place your bets. I'm not paying out. It's between you guys. If you wager, yes, it's a death cult. Yes, that's what they teach. They teach that operatis like me or us. I'm not trying to drag you into it, but I'm not trying to drag you guys into it. But they're like, you know, operatis like Mike, you know, they need their tongue pulled out or in the head, like Salochan. Paranjan, he's always yelling about how they want to kill him and they want to do him in. And you see how these devotees won't leave their names when they write about stuff. They don't want to leave their names. It's just R. Dasi and M. Dasi and MD Dasi and then that. They're afraid. They're afraid to speak out. They're afraid to speak out because they know that these people will kill people. They know that they're crazy. There we go, spinning the wheel. My bet is Gaurahari. All right, so we got one Gaurahari. Please add Rasikananda Maharaj. Okay, let's add him. And I hope he's got a video because I want to watch a video if he shows up on here. Okay, Rasikananda Maharaj, and we got fake human is going with yellow. We got one Gaurahari, we got one yellow. We're gonna give this thing a spin. I spelled that wrong. I don't care. We're gonna give this a spin. have a big winner. We have two winners. We have Gora Hari as the big winner. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. We have Gora Hari as the big winner. And we have Fake Human winning with yellow. Monkey Boy is our loser for today. But we have Fake Human is a big winner. Yeah, Fake Human win. And M won. M is a big winner. So let's go and let's find. Let me get out of here. Get rid of my evil twin and go back over here. And let's find some Gora Hari. This is gonna be fun. Oh, I'm so excited to have Gora Hari on the wheel. Why is it doing this? Okay, Gora Hari does. Oh, that's the wrong Gora Hari. You got to get the right Gora Hari. We got to get the right one. Where is this guy? Nope, that's the wrong Gora Hari. Why my computer not cooperating as usual? Nope, it will not give me it will not give me Gora Hari. I don't know. My computer just does not want us to look at Gora Hari today. Let me see. I gotta find this guy. It says no. You must mean this other guy, and I'm like, no, that's not who I mean. And he will not come up for some reason. He's just was not. Is he still on the internet? Did he run away and hide? Is he? Okay, here he is. Well, that's not him. Where is? I don't know why. I don't know what happened to him. Is he not on the internet anymore? I think he renamed his channel. Yeah, but when Lord Chaitanya's Grace Place. Okay, is this? All right, I guess this is him now. I guess he did. What did he do? He did something weird, didn't he? His username. Truth is out. Krishna devotees. Yep, Snadananda. Snadananda. Lord Chaitanya's Grace Place. Yeah, I don't know why. I was searching him by his name, and it would always come up, but for some reason he wouldn't come up. Tell it to me.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
What the hell? What the hell? What the what the hell is he doing, man?
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Rama.
Wait a second. What is this? What is this?
Krishna Guru Maharaj.
It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's McMurphy and friggin' Martini and Scanlon and all the nuts. It's all the nuts of friggin'. It's all the nuts of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and with and I'm Nurse Ratchet watching over. I'm Nurse Ratchet watching all these friggin' nuts.
I got hurt little bit, so I'm wearing this mask.
Huh?
I got hurt in my face, so I'm just wearing this mask.
Oh, you got hurt in the face. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. As long as it's not because you're afraid of a virus or some stupid thing, then.
Oh, did you hear him? I thought maybe it's because you're afraid of a virus or some stupid thing like that. Like they don't care about virus. They don't care about their health. Why would it be stupid to wear a mask if you're afraid of a virus? Why would it be stupid to care about your health? Tie-dye hoodie. This is so fucking insane. It's so fucking insane, man. I'm telling you, the video is so disturbing. I know, and it only gets worse. It only gets worse. It's these people seem so mentally disturbed. Yes, and this cult is making them mentally disturbed. You don't think that all these mentally disturbed people are falling into this cult. Now these people may have some issues, they may not. But believing in this crap and following this guy is not helping. It's not helping. Collecting donations and scamming people. I know. This guy scamming these people. And if they do have mental problems, mental issues, then you know what? That's even worse on this guy to be exploiting these people and taking and doing this, man.
No, Guru Maharaj. Oh my God. Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
The guy should be ashamed of himself. The guy should be ashamed of himself. He really should. He should be. The guy should be ashamed. I can't imagine doing that. It's a cheap ass version of a stage hypnotism show. It is. It is. It's such. I don't even know how to rephrase that. It's a cheap ass version of a stage hypnotism show. It's a cheap ass version, it's even worse because it's harmful. It's harming these people. If you were to go to Vegas or to Hollywood to like a nightclub and there's like this comedian or a hypnotist doing like a hypnotism show. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those, and they get people up and they do like this hypnotize. It's fun. It's harmless. It's a harmless, fun, stupid thing. Like a magician or a juggler. Whatever. It's just or these mentalists that do these mental things. What are you thinking of? Draw a picture and I'll guess what it is. That's a harmless thing. And this is a dangerous version of that, where it takes people's heads and just messes them up. And if your head is already messed up, like some of these people look like, they might have some mental problems already. And I don't mean that in a hurtful, mean way. I mean, we all have issues that we're going through in life, and how we deal with them on, how we can personally deal with them. And so how we deal with them personally, it may look to someone else as though we may have mental issues, but we may not, but we may. We don't know. I may act crazy on here and someone says, that Mike, he gets on there and he rants and raves. He's probably got some mental issues. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. You see somebody like acting all weird and doing jerky things, and okay, you go, well, maybe that person has, some real problem. Maybe he's autistic. Maybe he's on the spectrum. Maybe he's got a learning disability. Maybe he's got epilepsy. Maybe he's got something. Maybe he's just got mental cognitive issues that are serious. And again, I'm not trying to be sarcastic, or I'm being real, man. Being real. Hot Lips probably has some issues too. And this guy, if he's a guru, if he's some teacher, spiritual teacher, he should be able to recognize that. He should be able to recognize Hot Lips and go, hey, we're chanting and everything, but maybe some of your personal issues, maybe you should seek some professional help for some of your issues that you have. I'm just a spiritual guru guy that leads kirtan. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. No, they're insane. They think that their chanting is going to solve every problem, every illness, every mental issue that you have that can be solved with chanting. And why are you afraid of viruses? Simple-minded dupes. Simple-minded dupes. They need to know they're being scammed. I tried to tell them, I've told them a couple times, like, what is this guy doing for you, man? I mean, really, what is he doing for you? Oh, he's giving us love of God. Love of God? You really believe that he's giving you love of God? You believe that? You believe that somebody can give you love of God? That someone can just hand you love of God like it's a Pop-Tart? Wow. Hey, wow. Thanks for coming. Wow, the Prabhupada books offer nothing about living life. Just roll your eyes back in your head and chant. Exactly. They don't give you anything. It gives you nothing. It teaches you nothing. It doesn't expand your mind or open your mind. Everything that you can learn from Prabhupada's books, you can learn somewhere else without the pedophilia. You can learn to be a vegetarian without the pedophilia. You can learn to be nice to people without the pedophilia. You can even learn to love God. If you want to learn to love God, you can learn to love God. You don't have to be a pedophile to love God. You don't have to get married to an 11-year-old girl to love God. You don't have to think that women have small brains and are stupid and like to be raped in order to love God. That's not a prerequisite for loving God. And I don't have to believe that this failed chemist, pedophile who had an 11-year-old wife, is some pure devotee. That's not a prerequisite for loving God or being a good person. Morality and ethics is not dependent on what this fucking pedophile has to say. And I'll say it again. Ethics and morality has nothing to do with what this fucking disgusting piece of shit pedophile has to say in his books. They could take every one of his fucking books and destroy every single one of them, and the world would be a better place. This is harmful on so many levels. It is. It's harmful on so many levels. And it just looks like, Mike, why are you able to let them have fun? Let them have fun.
Hare Hare. Hare
Why are you
Krishna,
so critical? Let
Hare
them have their
Krishna,
Zoom meeting. Let them sit there
Hare
and
Rama, Hare
laugh and
Rama,
do whatever.
Rama Rama,
You
Hare
know,
Hare,
yeah, it looks like
Hare
that. It might
Krishna,
look
Hare
that way.
Krishna, Krishna
It might
Hare.
look that way. Like, what do you care what they're doing? I know what this does. We know what this does to people. We know what this does to people. These are the kind of people that are going to listen to this Gorahari guy. They're going to neglect their body. They're going to get sick. They're going to think, well, I'm not the body anyway. In the mental capacity that they're in, they're just going to be like, oh, I'm going to go back to Godhead. They're like, who knows what this guy's going to stick in their heads. But telling this woman, like, why are you wearing a mask? Oh, I thought it's because you might be afraid of some virus or something. That's bad. Like, wanting to be. Is this what it's like? Is this what it's like in New Vrindavan? Pretty much. I mean, pretty much. But just a bunch of people acting like this. Yeah, pretty much. It's not a stupid question, but yeah, on a certain level, yes, Paz. I'm gonna be honest with you. On a certain level, yes, it's no different than this. Just that Dave Amrita is not dressed in a tie-dye hoodie. He's going to be dressed in look like a guru. And they're not going to be on Zoom. They're all going to be in a big room together. And they're all going to be singing and chanting and listening to someone talk the same way they are. And they're all, yeah, pretty much, man. I don't know. Hey, everybody, tell Paz if this is what it's like in New Vrindavan. Because I've never been to New Vrindavan. So I would like everybody to just answer Paz's question. Is this what it's like in New Vrindavan?
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
He's got them thinking that they're so advanced that when they hear the holy name, they go into fits of laughter and crying and just like he's got them thinking that. He's got them believing that that he's so advanced that when they hear him chant and they hear the holy name, that they go into fits of ecstasy. They do. That like even Prabhupada didn't act like that. Prabhupada didn't giggle and laugh and cry and show all this wackiness when he was chanting. He didn't do any of this. He didn't do any of this. But they're so advanced.
Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
It's Cuckoo's Nest. If you watch Cuckoo's Nest and the scene when they're all sitting there and the guy wants the cigarettes and they're arguing and the other guy's talking about his wife and this, and the other guy's arguing and telling him, well, you shut up, and the other guy's, no, and I want my cigarettes, and the other guy's talking about this, and then they start fighting, and he Grace in it, and then, that's what this is. It's freaking Cuckoo's Nest. Cuckoo's Nest. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. It's fucking mental patients arguing with each other. Except they're not arguing. They're freaking laughing and giggling. Blah, blah, blah. Insanity. I was never a Hare Krishna, but that's how I imagine. In New Vrindavan, they probably not laughing, though. Just chanting. Yeah, who knows? The wackos in New Vrindavan. They're so wacko, they don't even know to laugh. I mean, seriously, if you can be in this cult and laugh, you're doing pretty good. I don't know. It's mental. It's That's all four of them, man. That's your Zoom meeting right there. That's your Zoom meeting right there, man. Keep your eyes open and ask common sense questions. My wife thought many were disturbed. Yeah, they are. They are disturbed. Many, every single one of them is disturbed. Every single one. Some are more disturbed than others, but every single one is disturbed, man. Every single one. So that's Gora Hari today. I mean, we had a great time with, what is the appearance of Sri Nityananda Prabhu? At New Vrindavan. Well, you know, that's Nityananda is, for those of you who don't know, or think that I don't know, Nityananda is, he's the incarnation of Balaram. So it's like Balaram's appearance day. So it's Nityananda's appearance day. And I guess they're having a big festival. I don't know. I can't keep up on these things. I used to, but I celebrated on 1/30. Oh, yeah. Well, there's going to be some pedophiles there. I'll tell you that. There's going to be some pedophiles there. So if you want to go see what a pedophile cult looks like, you go to New Vrindavan on the 30th. They're going to have their big pedophile convention in New Vrindavan. So everybody, that's my stream for today. Just for fun, let's take a look. I do have a video. I have a bunch of videos I haven't gotten to from Rafal, and I want to get to some. So let me go ahead and let's just watch one real quick, because they're fun, and I can always. Oh, I already. Let's see. I got. He sent me a bunch. I watched some today, but I'm sorry, Rafal. I just. Let's see. What's this? What's this one? Bhakti Chaitanya Swami blocking the Child Protection Office investigation of Lokanath Swami. So there it is. This is just more evidence of how all of these guys are together in protecting these pedophiles. Protecting these pedophiles.
Haribol Dedikanandan Prabhu. Please accept my reverence to Prabhupada. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well,
why?
Yeah, well, finally, sort of a little.
Why are these holy men going through so much trouble to block Child Protection Office investigations, to find people, give gurus clearance, to let gurus speak at their temples, to let gurus go live in Juhu Beach and Mayapur, to let these gurus saying, hey, these gurus can do no wrong. Krishna says we got to forgive them. What's up with this? They're all implicated, every single one of them. I say every single one of them. There's no good gurus. Why don't the good gurus come out and say, hey, you guys are wrong for doing this? Why don't the good gurus come out and say, Bhakti Vikash is wrong for saying what he said? Who cares about these fake gods? Their teachings about degrading women promote child abuse aimed at destroying people's lives. They are the ones who taught brahmacharya nonsense. I know. It's a crazy criminal organization. It is, and it's not said enough. God damn it, it's not. When people hear the word Scientology, people know. Most people know. That's a cult. But when people hear Hare Krishna, they don't know. They don't know. They're all deranged, starting with the gods they worship. That's a good one, and we're going to end it there. That's a good one. They're all deranged, starting with their gurus, their gods, all of that. You have a guy that you call God, and he's telling the guy to commit suicide because he got some good rice, and he's telling everybody else to go listen to the child molester. You listen to the child molester, but you with the rice, you go commit suicide. How fucking insane is that? You try to make sense of that. Try to make sense of that. You can't. There is no sense in that. For some good fucking rice. We're going to end it with the good rice. That's what you get. That's what you get for begging good rice. So everybody, thanks for joining me on this one today. It's been a lot of fun exposing these guys. No one's going to stop me. I'm going to keep doing this. You can hack my account. You can try and block my account and do all that. It's not going to work. I'm going to keep doing it. Idol worshiping criminal organization. Absolutely. Pedophile. It's a pedophile criminal organization. Child marriage and pedophilia. And then don't let anybody tell you that was a long time ago and that they don't practice that because Prabhupada is teaching it. Prabhupada is teaching it. Yes, good rice for everybody. Everybody gets some good rice. You get good rice and you get good rice and you get good rice. Everybody gets some good rice. So everybody, have a great day, great night, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are. Have some great luck, and please stay out of the cult. Warn people if you can. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please share this video, even if you feel like nobody's going to see it. Just share it anyway. Who cares? And everybody, and so those of you watching for the first time, never seen me before, don't know who I am. Here I am. Many years ago when I was once a Hare Krishna. Thanks, everybody.